So let's talk about how to multiply 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10's facts on your hands. Let's say that I want 6 times 7. Well, I've numbered my fingers here. The fingers on the bottom are my thumbs. So hold your hand like this and imagine that you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on your hands. Or just write 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, so we want 6 times 7. So right now I have 3 fingers that are either touching or below the 2 that are touching. We're going to let these fingers represent tens. So 3 times 10 is 30. Now let's look at the top. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers on my left hand and 1, 2, 3 fingers on my right. And what I want to do is multiply those together. So that's 4 times 3, that's 12. So in my head, I could add those together and get 42. 42, that's the answer. Now let's try it with 8 times 8. So I'm going to make my 2 8s touch, and let's look at the numbers of the fingers that are touching or below. So these numbers are below the fingers that are touching, and I'm also including the fingers that are touching. There's 6 of them, so I'm going to do 6 times 10. Now let's look at the numbers above those ones. I have 2 on the left and 2 on the right, so that means I'm going to multiply 2 times 2. That's 4. So I have 6 times 10, which is 60, plus 2 times 2, which is 4. That's 64. This is going to work every single time. Try it out. Just in case you're thinking it's coincidence, let's do one more. How about 9 times 8? So my 9 finger and my 8 finger are touching. Let's look at what's below them. And remember, I'm going to include them in this too. All right, so I have 7 fingers down here. So that's going to be 7 times 10, that's 70. Let's look at the top now. I have 1 finger on the left and 2 fingers on the right. So that's 1 times 2, that's 2. We can add those together to get 72. Okay, now pause the video. And for those of you who are wondering why this works, pause it, see if you can think about it, work with a friend, and see if you can think about, why would this work? To answer this algebraically, let's have our x's be on our left side and our y's be on our right side. And I'm going to let x be the number of my finger. So x is the number of fingers that are below touching or touching. And the same story is true for y. It's the number of fingers touching or below. So remember when we multiplied 9 times 8, we had 4 fingers below on the left and 3 fingers below on the right. That was a total of 7. So what we really did to get that 7 is we added our x plus our y, the number of fingers below on the left plus the number of fingers below or touching on the right. Then we multiplied that by 10, didn't we? Okay, now let's think about what we did for the top. So on the top, we took the number of fingers remaining on the left and multiplied it by the number of fingers remaining on the right. So the number of fingers that are remaining on the left would be 5 minus x. And the number of fingers remaining on the right would be 5 minus y. So we multiplied those two together and then we added them to the other value that we had already multiplied by 10. And that gives us the value of our multiplication fact. Here's what that looked like for 9 times 8. We had 4 plus 3 times 10, and then we had 5 minus 4 times 5 minus 3. And we got 72, and that was correct. So why does this work? Well, when we multiply 9 times 8, we could write 9 as x plus 5. And we could write 8 as y plus 5. It's just 5 plus the number of fingers that are below the touching, right? So x plus 5 is 9 and y plus 5 is 8. That pertains to the example that we were talking about, but really that would work for any of our multiplication facts that include factors of 6 or greater, up to 10. So if we've done this right, these two expressions should be equal, right? Are they? Let me start by simplifying this first one. We can combine like terms a little bit to arrive at this simplified expression. Now let's distribute across this one to see if it gives us the same thing. Let's see, x times y is xy, then we have plus 5x plus 5y plus 25. Voila! They are the same as they should be. So that's why the multiplication trick with our hands works.